I'm just applying some weight there. Put the lid back on this. That might not be the best weight. It's probably not the heaviest thing I've got in here. Linseed oil putty, that will do. Right. So that's applying quite a pressure to the top of it. Just check it's square again. Don't want it to slip. Check it's not slipped out. Like that. Right. So apply some weight to that for a little bit. Check it's all alright. Leave that a minute when I read the next stage of the instructions. Glue the axle boxes on the inside edge of one side of the chassis face using the alignment marks on the chassis face and the axle boxes as a guide. Picture 3. So that's picture 3 there. I take it meant to do both sides. I'm hoping. So have a look at that a minute. You can imagine that's glued nicely. Right. These are the marks I was talking about. I'm not sure you can see them on there. Might have to brighten that up. There is some marks on that. Facts. Go and get my desk lamp. Oh, I don't know that's much better, is it? Right, so that should give you a bit more of a decent picture of what's going on here, right? So you probably can see in there now, there's some little marks cut on that, right? So we'll open up this packet here, and I will tip them into the middle of this, so I don't lose any of the bits. Right, so these are the they're the buffer beams there. They're just dumb buffers really. And these are the axle boxes. They're made up of 2 bits. I see it's meant to go that way around. Yeah. Just poke all the leftover bits that are in there out with the axle, I presume. Right then, so there is a marker on there if you can see it, just very slightly. So what we'll do here is we'll unscrew the lid from our super glue again. Hoping you can actually see what I'm working on down here. Like that. Just a little bit of it along here like that, just a little couple of blobs. Look, just there, that'll do. Just put the lid back on that one again. I've had so many spills with super glue. Line that up. Try and stick it as dead on the line as I can. Oops. Right, so that's there. Just wants to pinch for a bit until the glue dries. That's dry enough now to move on to the next one. As you can see, where they're meant to be stuck, all of these things have hatching. Give them a better grip onto the other stuff. There's actually another bit of resin sandwiched on there, if you can see. Same with these ones. I'm actually going to put glue on this time, so that I don't obscure the mark like I just did, which wasn't very good. So I'm just going to apply glue onto here. See if that works better, which I think it should. That on there. Like so. And like I said, I've brought this stuff, it's got not too bad cure time on it. It's quite thick, it just doesn't run everywhere. Had some thin super glue, which was a bit of a pain really, because you kind of put it down and it went everywhere, and that was kind of the end of it. Wasn't very good at all. Right, so that's that side done, I should think. Or on, well, I'm not yet. The alignment of them, the alignment of them is pretty good, actually, I should think. Yeah, you can see that even better now, which you couldn't see earlier. You can see the nice wood grain effect on that, which is quite nice. Right, so shall we move on to this side, shall we? Right. Keeping in the camera angle. Yeah, like that, right. Oops, you did that one wrong, didn't I? can feel it just start to grip. Oops, my finger. I think I might have to apply a bit more glue because I tried to stick it on that side. Just kind of messed this side of the resin up actually a little bit. Too bad, just used kind of feeling. Right, so that's that one glued. It does show that it always pays to be vigilant, doesn't it? And just line this last one up. Oops. As you can tell, probably I'm not actually very good with super glue. I like using the low tack adhesives for like UHU for woodwork and things that I do. Right, if you can see there, the mark on that Xbox there is perfectly lined up with the mark on the chassis there, even though I do so here myself. Right, so the next step on the instructions, just while I leave them to harden up a bit, is slide the wheel sets into the axle box is already glued, then attach the axle box to R. Right, so these need to be slid in now. It's probably going to be quite difficult and might involve some snapping. Read the instructions. Should be fine there. Right, so that should go in there, and then that should just push off like that, and then push in. I might have to re-glue this one. Yeah, I will. Right. Take off these two a minute, because this is what I was meant to have done earlier anyway. Check this is lined up, which I hope it is. Can't see the mark very well. Right. Apply a bit of pressure to that there, right, and that should spin. It spins fairly freely in the axle box, which is good. Do quite like that. These wheels are, from as far as I can tell, resin with a metal rod through the middle. Which look like they've got little nicks taken out of them, but I take it that's happened in the moulding process. Right, so we'll try and put the other set in now. This spins a lot more freely than this one actually. Right, so anyway, that's fine. I'll leave back on this now. There we go. At the minute we've got what you can only be described as a rolling chassis now, which I'm quite pleased with. Like that. Right, as I just said, we're up to the rolling chassis stage, which is good. So obviously that's what these are. These are axle box cover strips, so they are to, if you look at the pictures, they're just to cover up the axle box ends, which will tidy it all away nicely. Take it, there you go. Right, so this thing on its side, if it will stay or not. Right, I'll have to have a, right, anyway, sorry about that. Leave you there and then level you off. It's better. Right. So what we'll do, I'm not sure quite how to apply the glue to this because obviously I don't want to get it in the actual axle box. So the glue needs to go all the way down to the bottom there. Like that. very little expertise needed to build this. I am a blundering idiot. Engineering isn't one of my strong points really. I do scratch build some stock, but it tends to need quite a lot of work before it's running. Far too much super glue on there. Far too much. Right, anyway, so that's that, and it's still free spinning, which is always a good sign, I suppose. So I have to be very, very careful in my control of this time. Right here, just all dabs all the way around, very gentle on it. Don't need a lot. These are quite nice actual finishing touches to the axle boxes that just stop them from looking wrong, I suppose. They also stop the axles from moving about too much, I should imagine. Which limits it to how far they can move over in the box, because that one can come out the side, if you can see there. Oh, camera's about to go flat again. Right, I'm hoping I can get this finished before my camera goes flat, otherwise I'll be feeding it more Poundland batteries. Right, like that. Right, so that's that dealt with. Squeeze these in a minute. So the next instruction is to glue the buffer beams on. No, sorry, buffers to them on. So these want gluing on first. I'm not quite sure how to get them dead centre. I suppose I might have to measure that. Measuring isn't really something I do voluntarily. Right, so we grab this. This is the only thing, this isn't marked, and it'd be nice if it was. It really would then be a no tool. Right, so it's going to be 3 1/4, so that's, and I've just marked on it there, is about the middle. There. So that's where the centre of this thing's hole should line up with. So just dab a bit of glue on the back here. I want to be right at the top, do we think? Right, anyway, so that's that one glued on there, and what I imagine to be the centre. Need a hook in a minute. Right, so I'm going to measure this one as well. I mean, obviously they are the same, but still got a mark on. It's about there again. Expecting by this stage you can tell my incompetence with tools. Right then, I seem to be feeding my camera Poundland batteries at an ever increasing rate. My good rechargeables have run out, which means not very good really. Right, so if we glue it on there like that, hold it in place like that, there we go. Like that. And so there's your 2 buffers on either end. Now with this bit of 1mm rod I'm meant to be making a hook for each end. Back on that before. Right. Pliers are here somewhere. Sellotape on both ends for some reason. I suppose it's probably health and safety, isn't it, really? Right, so just cut a bit of rod off like that. No, let's not even cut the rod, let's just put the rod in the hole. Like that. Right, so that's the bit where it needs to bend. Not sure how quite I can get this to work. Never made coupling hooks for things like this before. I normally stick with the standard centre buffer arrangement that other people provide. Actually got super glue all over my pliers, which isn't very helpful from where I cut the current. That's my hook at the minute. like that, which is a bit long really, I should imagine at the bottom there. Just need to cut that down, I should imagine, and that should be an alright hook. That will be fine, I think. Like I said, I don't know about cutting hook.
Oh no, there's a hole in the new stock already.
Sizes really. So that's a nice little hook. Right, what I'm going to do is just drop some glue in this hole. This is where you can't see that, can you? This is where thin super glue would be better really. Jobs like this. And that's it. So I'm just gluing these in. The whole way. Ow! Pipe my finger around. So that's what I should imagine is right. That's a nice little hook there then. As you can see, it's not a bad little hook. Oh, my camera's going to die again in a minute. Outrageous these Poundland batteries are, aren't they? Terrible. Don't buy batteries from Poundland and proceed to put them in a camera filming a video because they do not work. That's a rather different hook from the other one, isn't it? Oops. No. It's far too long. Cut that there, shall we? And then bend that back, and then another pair of pliers will probably be easier. There we are. And bend that round like into a hook shape, really. Not so much like that. It's not actually going very well at the minute, this one. Don't know why. The other one wasn't too bad. Right, how did I do that one? Right, there you go, that's not a bad little hook, I don't think. I managed to flatten that off a bit. Like that. And then trim it down. Oops. With a decent pair of pliers with a decent pair of cutters on them, I suppose. Right, check that fits before we glue it, because that's always quite good. These are good because I often find with the castings from white men and stuff that the holes are never actually there properly, and then you kind of put the hooks in it, and then after a couple of weeks on your line the hooks kind of fall out, and then you have to replace them with nails or something, or drill them out and start again because the hooks normally get lost. The finished wagon with its tie down loops, as I've shown you, and everything. That's all complete, and hopefully we'll have some videos of it running tomorrow or someday, which we'll have a video of. It's probably going to form part of our permanent way train. And it's a very nice looking little wagon ready for 12 pounds.